Hello and welcome back, all my favorite coder cats and coder kittens. This is, as usual, Becca, your coder kitty, going by Netcat or Netcat's Meow most places online. And I am back once again to talk to you about Linden scripting language. So, the last couple of weeks we have been detailing a positioner system. This little thing here. If you're just tuning in for this week's, I suggest you look at the playlist link in the description. Go back a couple of weeks so you can get on this from the very beginning. I'm actually going to go back and use the original version I was creating. I will also go into why I started coming up with this, because I already have the necessary code I want to review with you all already baked in. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize that since I found it a little finicky to set up. So I'm going to change avatars and be right back. Okay, I know this is definitely not what y'all are used to seeing from me. My custom interpretation of a spider girl. But actually my entire tracker system started as an effort to make spider tracers when I went and built this customized spider girl avatar. Fully custom texture work. All of the pieces on it. Well, okay, not everything is completely retextured, but all of the main parts are custom texture work. But I kind of got hooked on the Spider-Man PS4 game and decided to try to import some of that into SL with my own personal style involved. It's also, I normally don't touch real-world news on this, but it also seems appropriate to wear this because today is the day we found out that we lost Stan Lee. So consider this in part my homage to him and his incredible creative legacy that will live on, continue to inspire. And anyhow, we were talking about tracers and all of the like of that. So I am gonna hop out here where I have a little more room to work. There we go. That was the thing. All right. You see the feedback it gave me. It gave me owner and creator. It did actually pick it up. Number of prims, no scripts. And now we have both the green and red dots. If I move about, you'll see that it properly responds. I will also try moving this object. And there the little red dot moved. So it is properly tracking this object. Now the part you need to learn though, or the part that I'm here to teach you about today, is how I got that object to scan in. Sorry about the delay. The real magic sits right in amongst this. Vector, start, set camera position is a necessary prep for this, but the real fun is in cast ray. It gives certain information for where to position and how to actually project the beam. The way a raycast works is it's effectively like putting out a laser from there and reading everything that it touches on the way. So you then set a series of flags. Raycast reject types, raycast reject land. That's if it actually gets onto the surface at the bottom of the sim. Raycast data flags, raycast get root key. What that means is that if it touches an object, it won't just get the key of the portion it touched. It would get the key at the root. Raycast max hits equals 1, tells it to stop as soon as it hits the first thing. Raycast detect phantom equals true. these up here have to do with where you're firing out the ray. So we're actually going to go to look up raycast on the wiki, because it's going to do a better job than I ever will at listing all of the details that you can possibly bring up. Took me a second to get my little phone looking HUD piece here. Come on. Cast the line from start to end and report collision intersection. So let's go back and look at the code here. Start. It starts at where your camera position is. And I went into first person mode to fire that. Kind of important. And then it start plus 1,000 meters times get camera rotation. So it's starting where your camera is positioned, and it's ending 1,000 meters on the x-axis modified by camera rotation. That way it doesn't if we didn't have times get camera rotation, what would happen is it would fire a 1,000 meters on the x-axis of the sim. This is the x-axis relative to your camera, which is why it will automatically go forward. Key. What is? List to key results 0. This will produce a list, which is why we had to cast the results as a list, and it's asking for the first entry. It's only going to get one entry, so that's the only thing that's going to be in there. And then list data. Get object details, which is actually going to a command that will be covered in my Coder Kitty Decoded tomorrow, that gives you the object name, owner, creator, if it has running scripts, total script, script memory, etc., 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 and its overall land impact. And then it gives me that information here. Those are not really relevant to the tracker. The part that is relevant to the tracker is right here. Get message linked, or send message linked, LP5, so it's sending it to something marked LP5, which I have defined up here. That is just part of a kit I created for managing shifting around parts of objects. I just tend to use it anytime I need to coordinate things. You could plug in the specific number for the thing you're using, but I have the kit. I find it easy to use. Sending it on channel 0 with no message. And since link message can send a key, I just sent the key we got up here out of the results. Key, what is, list to key result 0. And fed that in. Yep, that's the right one. And right here, it has the normal trace code with the vector with get object details for who, and who is acquired out of the link message. The key on the link message, who equals who is. Set timer event 1, timer event runs trace, trace up here. That's really all there is to it. That is how I set this up to get somebody's key as though it was coming from a legitimate spider tracer like in the comic books. The other thing I put in there, if you look back in the video, you saw that little red bit go out. In fact, I'll do it again. That's just a particle system. That is literally all that is. That is just a particle. That's not even an actual object being fired. Now, particles have a whole lot of complexity to them, and it would take more time than I'm going to invest in this specific video in order to cover particles. But we will eventually delve into particles. Just bear in mind, they are not really my speciality, and you almost have to specialize to get really good with them. Kind of like vehicle physics. So, next week I'll go over a couple of other ways that you can, or start going over a couple of other ways you can feed a key into that, because there are plenty of other cases where you could use that. And this basic method of tracing with a raycast, you could use to analyze anything in front of you. You saw that list of things you can read with a raycast. So, experiment with it, play with it, have fun with it, my coder kitties. So, until then, till next week, that'll be it for now. Good day, good luck, happy coding, and feels appropriate if I'm wearing my own version of a spider outfit. A moment of silence to remember Stan Lee. I'll see you all next week.